Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to Algebra 1. This is Mr. Robertson. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today we're just reviewing systems of equations. What I want you to do is take out those notes. You're going to turn backwards to slide number 21 in your notes, and then you'll be good to go. So find slide 21. I'm going to have you do problems on your own mostly today, and then you're just going to see if you got it right. So go ahead, slip on back to slide 21. It should look something like this. Alright, the first set is substitution. I want you to try this problem and then, first hit pause, try this problem, and then come back and we'll see how you did. Okay, it looks like you finished. Let's see if we match. So first you look for x equals or y equals, and you circle whatever x equals or y equals. Here it said y equals that junk, so we put that there. Then draw the arrow to the y just like that, and now we're going to recopy what that said. So that was 3x plus 5y, but instead of y, of course, we're going to put a blank here. And then inside that blank, we're going to put what we circled, 4x minus 9. Just like that. After that point, you should know what to do. You're just going to distribute the 5. So that's 5 times 4x and 5 times negative 9. This gives me 20x and minus 45. Next, you should be flying here. We're combining like terms. Then you're going to add 45 to both sides to move it over. Like that, and then divide by 23. At this point you got x equals 2. As soon as you have that x equals 2, you circle it, and then you put this circle into the other circle, so you have y equals 4 blank minus 9. But in that blank you are going to put 2 because you told me x equals 2. You put 2 there, and then you get y equals, I type that into my calculator or in my brain to get y is negative 1. So finally, Regis, your final answer is 2, because the x always goes first, negative 1. And that's it. Alright, let's try a harder one. This time it does not say x equals or y equals, so you have to choose which one you're going to do. Great choices would be either this one, or that one, because none of them have a number touching their letter. However, if you had chosen solving for that one, that would have been a mistake because you'd have fractions all the way through. And we don't like fractions. So, let's go ahead and just so we're all doing the same thing, let's solve this top equation for x and then finish it off. Alright, you go ahead, hit pause, solve the top one for x, and then finish the problem. Go for it. Alright, it looks like you're all finished. Here we go. So we said we're going to take this one, we're going to write it, and solve it for x. So to solve for x, I must get rid of the 3y. So let's add 3y to both sides. Now I have x equals, you could put 36 plus 3y or 3y plus 36. It doesn't really matter to me. We're going to do that. Now, I'm going to take this and circle right here because this is what x equals. Draw an arrow from this all the way over here and put it into the x because that's what x equals. Next, I have, instead of x, I'm going to put a big set of parentheses plus y equals negative 4. Inside that set of parentheses, I'm going to put, yes, you guessed it, 36 plus 3y because that's what we circled. Now, because there's nothing outside those parentheses, there's nothing distributing through it, so in this case, I don't really need the parentheses. I can just combine like terms. Since there's just a y there, I could put a 1 in front of it because that's just 1y. Combining like terms, that gives me 4y, so I'm going to copy the 36. I have plus 4y equals negative 4. Subtract 36 from both sides. And now you know what you're doing, right? Well, hopefully you did to begin with. This is negative 40. Then we're going to divide both sides by 4. and I get y equals negative 10. Circle that. And now it's time for our final answer, which is, oh wait, we're still missing something. What am I missing? I don't have an x. So I have to take this and I have to plug it back into the other circle. Don't forget that, because even though we have x equals right here, we just need it to be a number. So I've got x equals 36 plus 3 blank. What do I put inside that blank? Hopefully you're thinking negative 10, because that's what that says x is, or y is, I'm sorry. So now I've got 36 plus 3 times negative 10. I type all of that into the calculator, and that tells me x equals 6. I circle that. Now we're ready for that final answer, because I have an x and a y. Excelente, senor. So here we go. My x was 6. Remember, x always goes first, and then y is negative 10. And now I'm all finished. Well, that was easy, wasn't it? Alright, so I tried to trick you a little bit, but it looks like you know what you're doing. So now we're moving on to the elimination section, and you're looking at, it looks like, page 39 in your notes. So find page 39. We're starting with an easy one. Go ahead, hit pause, see if you can do this one, and then come back. Alright, hopefully by now you have realized that 3y minus 3y cancels straight up. We didn't have to do any multiplying. You go straight down to get 2 minus 5 is negative 3, and 2 minus 14 is negative 12, and then we're just going to divide by negative 3 to get 4. X equals 4. As soon as you have that, you go back to the originals, and you can write either the top one or the bottom one. It does not make any difference. In fact, if you wanted to check your answer, you could do both of them. So instead of x, I'm going to put 4, because this told me x was 4. 2 times 4 gives me 8, and now I'm just going to solve it like any normal equation, subtracting 8 from both sides, and then divided by 3. So here we go. Your final answer should have been 4, negative 2. And that's it. You did it. Alright, let's see if we can go to a slightly harder one. Over here, we have 2 different ones. Those two don't match. Those two don't match. You go ahead, hit pause, see if you know what to do. Alright, hopefully by now you know what you've done. You've drawn your little arrows here, and you have a couple different choices on how to solve this. I am going to do what I call the lazy method, and that's where I'm just going to take this top number and put it down on the bottom, take the bottom number, put it up here on top. If the two signs are the same, I have to make one of these negative. I'll pick the first one. Doesn't really matter. And now I'm going to multiply negative 3 times all of these numbers. So that gives me negative 15x, positive 9y, and negative 63. Then I'm going to multiply all of these numbers by 5. So that gives me a positive 15x, a negative 60y, and negative 90. Alright. So 15x minus 15x, that cancels. If it didn't cancel, I would know that I screwed up. Over here I have 9 minus 60, so that's going to give me negative 51. And here, negative 63 minus 90, that is negative 153. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 51. There appears to be a train going by. I get y equals 3. As soon as I have that y equals 3, I can go and copy the top or the bottom equation. It doesn't matter which one. I like to pick the ones with the smaller numbers, so since I see a big 12 in that bottom one, I'm going to write the top. Instead of y, I'm going to put a blank, and inside that blank, I'm going to put the number 3, because this says y equals 3. So now you just solve it just like any normal equation. Multiplying those, adding the 9, and then dividing by 5. This gives me x equals 6. So your final answer is 6, 3, which coincidentally is my height. Alright, hopefully you've gotten that one. Now let's see if we can flip on down to some word problems. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. You're on slide number 76. So 26 students and 18 adults buy tickets to the concert this Friday. On Saturday, 19 students and 15 adults buy tickets. You know, imagining that we could still go to concerts. Friday's sales totals are $199 and Saturday's sales totals are $156.50. How much does each type of ticket cost? You go ahead, set up that chart, and I'll be back. Hit pause. Alright, I spotted you that one. It's a total. So what are my two totals? Well, hopefully you guessed it was $199 and $156.50. Those are my two totals. $199 is my total for Friday, and the other one is my total for Saturday. Next, I'm going to try to figure out what is the question asking me for, and it says, how much does each type of ticket cost? What are the two types of tickets? Well, we have adult and we have student. So those are up there. Next, we just have to figure out what the amounts are. So on Friday, there were 26 students. Ooh, make sure you put this in the correct column. And 18 adults. So that would be 18 times the price of the adult ticket plus 26 times the price of the student ticket equals $199. In the same way, on Saturday, 19 students. So that would be 19S. And we're going to add that to our 15 adult tickets and its price. Alright, we now have our equations. So let's go ahead and hit pause and then you solve this. Go for it. Okay, you can see I cheated a little bit by copying and pasting. That's alright. Alright, so there it is. I'm going to solve this one, and I'm going to choose elimination because substitution would be a mess. Alright, I have to decide what to multiply by and then go for it. So here I'm going to multiply by, well, going the lazy method, 15 and 18. They are the same sign, so I'm going to have to choose one of them to make it negative. I'm going to choose the top one. Alright, so bust out that calculator before we do this. My calculator's here. So I'm going to type 18 times 15 negative. And that gives me negative 270. And then I've got 26 times 15, which is 390. And I'm going to use a cursive S. This is how old people and old dogs type or write S. And I've got 199 times 15, negative 15. That's going to be negative 2985. See, in real life, numbers are not always this pretty. 18 times 15 gives me positive 270. 18 times 19, of course, is 342. And again, there's my cursive S. And now 156.50 times 18 gives me 2817. Alright, that's beautiful, isn't it? So here we go. Negative 270 plus 270, they cancel. If they didn't cancel, I would know that I screwed up. This gives me negative 48s equals, I've got 2817 and negative 2985. That's going to give me negative 168. Okay, now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 48. And you should have S equals 3.5. Now, what did S stand for? S was the price of a student ticket. So coming back here, 3.5 doesn't make much sense, but if I put $3.50, that would totally make sense. So our student tickets were $3.50. Okay, next I have to figure out how much it would be for an adult ticket. So I'm going to take that $3.50, plug it into either the top or the bottom. I'm going to pick the top because there's no decimal in it. So I've got 18A plus 26. There's my S. So instead of S, I'm going to put the 3.50. Make sure you put it into the correct letter. So I have all that. Next, I'm doing 26 times 3.50 on my calculator. That gave me 91. And at this point, you should be just flying along, subtracting the 91 from both sides, getting 18A equals 108, and then typing 108 divided by 18, and getting 6. So that means adult tickets cost $6 and student tickets cost $3.50. Woo! That was fun and tiring. Alright, next we're going to, well, get ready for next week when we do exponents. But first, we need some review. So you're going to take out that homework from your cool little Canvas thing and work on your homework tonight. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. I am just waiting for you in the Zoom room. You know the address and how to find it if you have any questions. Otherwise, just do that homework and have an awesome day, everybody. See you later. Goodbye, everybody. Cue the music. Somebody play the music. There we go. All right. Now, goodbye, everybody.